glad I'm not in a dot untying contest right now because I will lose. I'm gonna jump off my skin here. Move, turtle.
Survivor Fiji tried an experimental twist like never before. One tribe gets a ton of luxuries and one tribe is left to suffer. They have the first ever odd number of players in a cast, and the idol count has been increased from past seasons, where before they only had one idol per season, and this time there is 3. So how does this all pan out? Let's find out.
39 days, 19 people, 1 survivor.
Survivor Fiji tried something this season that I think they didn't fully think through. That is the haves versus have-nots twist. One tribe gets everything: couches, a bed, hammocks, cutlery, the works. The other tribe gets a pot and machete, and that's it. Considering the season was rumored to be 4 tribes before Melissa dropped at the last second, I wonder if this twist was planned to be later in the season, or if one tribe was getting everything the whole time while the other 3 got nothing. Either way, I don't think it was gonna work out. It is clearly a bad idea that goes exactly as you imagine it would if you heard it and never watched the season. Moto dominates the entire pre-merge no matter who is on it, and the only time they attend tribal is when the show pulls a twist out of their butt to basically force Moto's hand so that they don't lose their nice camp. Ravu this season is a less fun version of the Oolong tribe from Palau. Ravu is just as terrible, but it isn't as fun considering they are handed 2 extra players and a tribe swap to bail them out from having a proper oolonging. It all makes for boring drama, and that is the worst thing the show can do. The thematic twist here scores a 2 out of 10. By the way, do you want to pick what videos I make and see them all early? Then consider joining me on Patreon. You can sign up and cancel at any time, and if you do join for a year, you get a 15% discount. Thank you for your support. Number 2, production quality. Aside from the questionable thematic twist that bombs hard, production this season was a mixed bag. Some challenges were fun to watch. I remember the dancing challenge, that was a good one. Exile Island was beautiful, and the storytelling was top tier at times. But that's not enough to make this season really good, as only 3 episodes all season were what I consider top tier. Those being the Edgardo boot, the car deal episode, and the finale, which was only due to being the follow-up to the car deal episode. The increase to 3 idols was smart, I admit. I like that we have now moved to regular idols instead of super-powered ones that dominate a season, and where they were hidden was fun. But so much more was botched this season. We already talked about the haves versus have-not twist, but we can't forget the merge twist that essentially just screwed over Michelle and was completely unfair and made you wonder, well, why did we merge then? Also, the twist to hand Ravu immunity was production interference to the most obvious degree in these first 14 seasons, but we overlook it because it helped the poor, terrible Ravu tribe. And the storytelling this season seemed wholly uninterested in any female characters. We have 2 women make the top 6 with one being a finalist, and honestly, I feel as if I know nothing about either of them. How is that the case? This has happened many times before, but here it is especially egregious. The show doesn't pretend like anyone else will win besides Earl, so that mystery is solved early, especially when we get epic shots of him on top of the island 7 times, combined with a dreamlike shot where he sees himself at the top. It's interesting, but gets pretty obvious pretty quick. How this season is sandwiched between Cook Islands and China, which are widely considered much better seasons, is beyond me. But this season felt like 1 step forward and 3 steps back. For Fiji, the production quality scores a 6 out of 10. Number 3, strategic play.
My first priority is not let anybody know that I got immunity idol. Then I have a really evil thought. I thought, what if there's another immunity idol for them to find? So I start out making my own immunity idol out of a half coconut shell. Basically, I took a coconut shell, I painted with the little face, and I painted the eyebrow. And just in case they don't know it's an immunity idol, I put the initials II on it. There are so many immunity idols running around here. I made that, I wrapped it back up, and I went quickly and buried it back in that hole. I'm hoping that someone will decide to hunt for the idol and we'll have one too many idols running around. Except I have the official one.
What do you get when 18 out of the 19 players on your cast are recruited to be on the show? Gameplay that starts off slow and gets complex later on. This could work and has before, but here it makes the pre-merge a slog with nothing interesting happening strategically. If you are a detriment at challenge, then you're gone, and that's pretty much all it amounts to for too long. Thankfully, we do get a few saving graces this season that does further the game strategically. The Edgardo boot, where Alex plays the idol and fails due to Dreams being a double agent, is really fun, and heck, it's the first failed idol. Splitting votes due to worries of an idol play is Plan Voodoo from Cook Islands actually happening, and the car deal is fascinating. Earl comes only one stray vote from Rita, shy of playing a perfect game, and he never needed immunity to save himself. The last winner to do that before him was Sandra Diaz-Twine, but as I mentioned before, the pre-merge is strategically a chore to watch, and the two boots after Edgardo are so predictable. There's nothing truly to write home about here, aside from Meowman's successful idol play, which is the first in the show's history. Overall, I give the strategic play this season a 6 out of 10. Number 4, characters.
Given that you said specifically your goals are to help kids, explain to me this, riddle me this, Dreams. You cheat, you lie, you backstab to succeed. Why would the rats and the snakes be the role models to the kids you and I are trying to help? Explain to me why I would endorse that view of the world.
Because this part of the game, this ain't part of the real world. This is two separation. This is this game. This game is based on cons, lies, and deceit. The real world, you do that stuff and you end up paying the consequence.
All right, fair enough. Well, I would wish you luck, and unlike you, I'm a man of my word, so I don't wish you any luck at all.
Thank you.
Can't hide from karma forever, my friend.
Earl and Meowman are the only big characters this season who are not villains. Their friendship, and of course them making it far, dramatically helps this season and creates two characters we don't mind dominating a lot of screen time. But on the other hand, Dreams, Lisi, Alex, and Rocky were all villains at one point or another, and as a result, this cast is a very particular taste. So when the season rides or dies on 6 characters and 4 are generally unlikable, you're in for a doozy. Anthony is cool, I admit, but he goes way too early to be considered a major character, and pretty much everyone else felt under-edited or simply uninteresting for TV. Casting kind of missed the mark this season, going all out on recruits, and while I think it worked on Cook Islands, this season shows what happens when you get unlucky going for broke. Dreams was complex, and I actually really like him since he is a large reason that there are even 3 episodes worth talking about from this season, but that car deal did him in as a massive villain in the eyes of the fans. Lisi wanted to quit almost the entire time she was playing, and then is a massive jerk at Final Tribal, and it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Alex led the Underdog Alliance, which was fun for a time, but he ruined any image of himself by being the saltiest juror of all time, and not in a fun way. Whereas Rocky is a villain pretty much the whole time he's playing, but then he has a really nice Final Tribal. He's not that bad. In fact, Rocky, he's fun, but I do see why people generally don't like him like Dreams. Rocky is kind of the only saving grace for Ravu in the pre-merge in my personal opinion. Since characters are so important to a season, they get twice the weight in the scoring system, and here, the characters score a 6 out of 10. Number 5, the winner.
I'm pretty proud of myself for making it this far. This is one of the highest peaks of my life because I've challenged myself so much in this game and I made it all the way through just as planned. I mean, it's a cool experience. You won't know until you do it, till you give up everything in your lifestyle and come here and get in the dirt, in the mud, in the grind, and make it happen. Still be yourself, be strong, see what you're made of. See if you're really a man or a woman. The experience of a lifetime.
Earl is solid. He came only 1 vote shy of winning it all while navigating the Ravu tribe, Dreams being a double agent, the 4 Horsemen Alliance, and visiting Exile Island 4 times, and yet he was never anyone's target. He was able to mostly avoid lying to people and was more of a politician than any winner we have seen since Ethan's on, and people love Ethan. His alliance with fan favorite Meowman, who he becomes great friends with by the end, elevates him in a lot of fans' eyes, but for me, it was seeing the way he carried himself in every situation, good or bad. He remained calm and didn't BS people come Final Tribal. He sealed that he was by far the better player when fielding the questions thrown his way, even the mean-spirited ones. Earl is the original king of Fiji, and his winning game and story gets a 7 out of 10. Do I recommend Survivor Fiji? Not necessarily. There are moments in the season that are great, and there are some characters that stand out, but aside from 3 episodes, this season is a slog and can be a chore to watch. The thematic twist does a lot to drag it down, and I kind of wish we had seen the original 20-person cast on 4 tribes, as that could have made the pre-merge vastly more interesting, and would have likely avoided the worst version of the oolonging that Ravu experienced. Survivor Fiji's overall score is a 5.5 out of 10. Tune in next time as Survivor travels to a country they have only ever visited once with Survivor China. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. See you all next time.